Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM News at 5 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan. Whitney has the evening off. We start with some breaking news out of the eastern side of the U.S.-Canada border. A vehicle coming from the U.S. side of the border crashed at a Canadian checkpoint near Niagara Falls. 2 people died in a fiery explosion. It is not believed to be a terrorist act. New York Governor Kathy Hochul called it a horrific incident and said there is no known terrorist threat. The border incident comes as New York law enforcement prepares for a major event, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Thousands of police officers will be positioned along the parade route. And here are witnesses describing the incident.
The car was coming flying back here like over 100 miles an hour. We could hardly even see me. It was going that quick. And then it looked like he hit the fence and this fire started. And then all of a sudden he went up in the air and then it was a ball of fire like 30, 40 feet high. I've never seen anything like it.
The Rainbow Bridge crossing remains closed, but 3 other crossings have reopened to traffic. All right, let's switch gears and talk weather here locally. After waking up to some rain this morning, Thanksgiving is shaping up to look like a really nice day. Let's send it right over to meteorologist Michelle Boss for more on what we can expect. Michelle?
Yeah, we'll be able to concentrate on the food, on our families, and not really have to worry about any inclement weather. So take a look at satellite and radar. We did have a front that moved through early this morning. You can kind of see the band of clouds as it pushes through. Still seeing some of that cloud cover in far southeastern Washington and across the central Idaho panhandle. Brought a little bit of light rain to the Spokane airport, about 1/100 of an inch, but cleared out this afternoon. We actually enjoyed some sunshine today and temperatures warmed up into the mid-40s. But as things dry out, we will enjoy quiet conditions all across the Northwest, and that includes sunny skies over the Cascade Passes tomorrow and Friday. Both Snoqualmie and Stevens shouldn't have any weather issues. Lookout Pass, maybe a few flurries tomorrow morning, but otherwise drying out. Mostly sunny skies for the rest of the day and dry on Friday, and sunny skies expected at Sherman Pass both Thursday and Friday. Temperature-wise, we are starting to see the temperatures fall. We were in the mid-40s this afternoon. We're in the low 40s right now, but many spots have dipped down into the 30s, 34 in Deer Park and Sandpoint, 37 in Grand Coulee, and it's now fallen into the upper 30s across the Washington and Idaho Palouse. Should be dry for this evening with partly cloudy to mostly clear skies. We'll see overnight lows drop down to the upper 20s. And then other than some morning clouds, we'll see partly cloudy skies for the rest of Thanksgiving Day. Highs in the 40s. Cooling trend will bring highs back down into the 30s for Friday and Saturday with dry weather. All
right, Michelle, thank you very much. A controversial ordinance is back on the table in Liberty Lake, leaving many citizens there questioning why it didn't die with a mayoral veto earlier this year. KREM 2's Shannon Mowdy joining us live in the studio tonight to explain. Shannon?
Liberty Lake City Council is set to vote as early as next month on whether to give itself more authority over the library board and its policies. And if you feel like you've heard this one before, you have. Outgoing council member Phil Follier proposed the revised version of the ordinance, saying Tuesday he wanted to address concerns in the original.
To be perfectly honest with you, I don't have an issue with any of their policies, but there's got to be the connection. You got to allow a dialogue between the two bodies.
Both versions give council oversight over the library's board and its policies. Mayor Chris Kaminskis vetoed the prior version in May, and for many in Liberty Lake, that was the end of the discussion.
We are here again, but why? Why are we here?
Listen to us again.
Many citizens criticized what they call a sneaky attempt to take advantage of a loophole. When the election is certified next week, council member-elect Mike Kennedy will get a vote on the issue. But Linda Ball, also elected in November, won't get a vote until January.
This is not a loophole.
Council member Chris Cargill says Kennedy's just retaking a seat he previously held and gave up early last year due to health reasons. Tom Sahlberg was appointed to fill in. Kennedy won his bid for the seat in November.
This is actually just returning the council in terms of makeup to what voters originally intended.
Ball has been a vocal opponent of the ordinance.
And these citizens are not concerned about that the city council doesn't have enough control over the library board of trustees.
She beat incumbent Phil Follier.
And you're supporting this mockery of the election. I don't see why you guys don't just wait till January.
Why not just wait until January?
Well, I think you could say, why not wait until January? Why not wait until next June? Why not wait until January of 2025? I mean, we've been discussing this issue for a year and a half now.
Cargill says the idea this was a Trojan horse to ban books is false, and that council should have oversight because of how much property tax revenue, 25%, goes to the library. A second reading and vote on the revised ordinance are expected at the next council meeting, December 5th. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
All right, Shannon, thank you very much. In other top stories tonight, Idaho's Attorney General is asking the U.S. Supreme Court to get involved in the fight against the state's abortion ban. The law allows the state to prosecute doctors who provide abortions except in cases where it saves the mother's life. That ban went into effect last year and was almost immediately challenged by the Justice Department. Well, since then, the ban was paused, put back into effect, and then paused again, which is where it stands now. A hearing on this latest pause is set for January. The AG's office is now asking the Supreme Court to allow the law to take effect until a ruling is made. Well, the city of Seattle is leading the national charge to hold lawmakers accountable. Kia and Hyundai have both recently been targeted because of a social media trend. A TikTok craze called the Kia Boys Challenge is making it easy for thieves to pull off these crimes. The videos feature tutorials on exactly how to steal the Kias and Hyundais. Police say in some of the cases, people got hurt or killed after the theft. Similar crashes have been documented across the country, including here in Spokane. In July, Spokane police reported that 5 Kias were stolen in one night. In August and September, Spokane police arrested a total of 5 teenagers for stealing Kias and Hyundai cars across the city. In other news, after a convincing win last night against Syracuse, the Zags are looking to keep their momentum alive against the UCLA Bruins. This matchup is the first since their classic NCAA tournament game where the Bulldogs won off a last-second three-pointer from Julian Strother. Both teams are battling for 5th place in the Maui Invitational, which has been stacked with some of the top teams in the nation. That game tips off at 9 p.m. tonight. You can watch it on ESPN2. And for more in-depth coverage on the Zags this season, check out our Locked On Zags podcast on our streaming platform, KREM 2+. It is free to download on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.